Welcome back, everybody, to SoftwillyTalks. I don't even know what episode we're on. I'm thinking about just restarting it. There's no excuses for this one. I'm sorry that, I kind of left the channel again. I mean, as you can see from any channel that I have, and even streaming, I'm pretty much not even on the face of the planet right now in regards to online presence. So I do want to just say that my audio recording just corrupted when I was making this, and the last one that I had was like 18 minutes long. So that sucked. I said some pretty good stuff in there, so I'm going to try and summarize it the best I can for a lot of the things that I've said. I want to let you guys know that I'm not a professional on a lot of this stuff. This is all based on me, my personal experiences, and my personal advice. If something I say doesn't suit you, obviously don't do it. But there are other things that I say that sometimes it's better you just don't experience and you just take my word for it. So with that being said, take everything I say with a grain of salt and let's begin. Our first one says, "Ayo, I saw your recent tweet on your alt and I was wondering if you've ever dealt with imposter syndrome. I'm constantly feeling like I haven't put in enough effort or I'm not good enough to deserve the good things I have. For me personally, it's mostly due to academics and feeling undeserving of my friends. If you have felt this, how do you deal with it?" So yes, I have experienced imposter syndrome, and to this day, I still experience it every now and again. The feeling that someone knows more than me when they really don't. I really feel like I don't deserve everything that I have. For sure, I've definitely experienced that, and I still do to this day. I've experienced it with academics, and I've experienced it with creating content, and it's definitely a very crappy feeling. I will say that. It's not a very fun feeling to have, and it's a feeling where, you just end up losing motivation because you're tearing yourself down. You're not even bringing yourself up. So yeah, I 1,000,000% have experience with this. The way that, you can kind of get around this is by reassuring yourself, setting tiny little small goals and achieving it and being like, okay, I did that. I was able to do that. I, for one, take for granted my 700,000 subscribers that I've amassed. And I personally feel like, whether my own friends are funnier than me or better than me, or, maybe I feel like I don't deserve my friends like you had mentioned because maybe they're better to me than I am to them, when obviously that's just not the case, right? It's a little silly to sit here and think that way and pull ourselves down, but that's what imposter syndrome is, and so it's one of those things where you just gotta have to take it slow and just, take things easier. I know what I can do here. You set a tiny goal and you achieve it. You study, you get the good grade, you give yourself a break and just breathe and be like, okay, I did that. Give yourself some credit where it's due, please. Just trust yourself and just be like, okay, I was able to achieve that. Nobody else was able to do that but me. At the end of the day, you are very smart. I am very smart. Everybody is very smart in their own ways, and we're able to achieve all these great things. And sometimes our own demons that we have to fight are in our own head, right? So one of those things that you just gotta have to take it slow and just trust the process and trust yourself and give yourself some credit. Give yourself some credit, please. That goes for anybody, including myself. Give yourself credit that you can do great things, because you are doing great things. I want to put one more thing out there. It's very, very easy for someone like me to take for granted the numbers that they have, especially online. It's not all about the numbers, but in retrospect, it really kind of is, especially when proving success, right? Well, what is all this success? And everybody ties success with numbers. So for me, my success would be I'm almost at 1 million. But in order for me to really enjoy my time and to really, get it out there, you've done this, I need to set a small goal that I can achieve, or whether it's this video has to hit this number, or I shouldn't even think about maybe my friend knows more than me about YouTube, even though I think about that all the time. My method is to just try and take things slow, breathe and be like, okay, this is what I can get done. This is what I'm comfortable with doing. And we just try and get it done. Sure, you're going to second guess yourself. You're 100% going to second guess yourself throughout that process. You just have to deal with those second guesses. You're just going to have to really be headstrong about it. This entire conversation that we're going to have today, all of these topics that I'm going to speak about have to do with, motivating yourself, and it's all a mental game. It's all a serious mental game. I promise you that. All right, with all that being said, we have two that are very, very common. So I'm going to put them up on the screen now. They both have to do with motivation. One has to do with motivation of content. The other has to do with content as well as weight gain and stuff like that. How to, live a healthier life, and how to maybe, put out content when you're not seeing your results. And this is something that I have a lot of experience in, both of them. So to start it off with trying to find motivation for content, I think the best way to start this is by not trying to set any expectation. Try not to compare yourself to other people and really just enjoy what you're doing. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, there's no way you're going to be able to find that motivation to get up and do what you want to do, right? And if you are able to find that motivation through making content, you know what I mean? Or let's just say you really do enjoy what you're doing, but it's just not enough still at that point, right? Try and find like other alternatives, like find like a new game or, play with friends, stream with friends. You know what I mean? Just make sure that you're enjoying your time, because the more presence you have online, the more networking you have as well. That'll just help you, overall. But you got to remember that like if streaming is not your main job, then that's kind of considered just like a hobby right then and there. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to make it something more. And so you need to make sure that you're prioritizing it in the right way, not overdoing it. Don't burn yourself out, that type of thing. Motivation for content creation can be very hard in a space that is very oversaturated. And so you need to kind of like stand out. You need to really pretty much like do your own thing, stand out. Why should people watch you? You know, why do you want people to watch you is really what you need to be asking yourself. And you need to make sure that you're not, biting more than you can chew. Try to make sure that you're seriously just enjoying the process. That's the only thing I give a shit about, is you're enjoying the process. People ask me all the time, like, I want to become a YouTuber. Do you have any advice? And I'm like, just make sure you enjoy your content. Just please make sure you enjoy what you're doing. And the same thing with like working out, like make sure you're actually enjoying what you're doing. You're probably not going to see results when you work out for the first 2 months. I mean, you can, like if you're really dieting and really, working on it, you could probably see like results within the first month. But for me, I barely saw results. I mean, I was looking at myself so much that, I really wasn't seeing much. And because of that, my motivation was kind of like, dwindling, you know what I mean? But I still pushed through and I still kept doing it because it just ended up becoming some sort of routine. And it wasn't hard work because, I'm not really overthinking it like that. I'm not trying to make it more than what it really should be. So for you, trying to become healthier, that's just something that you got to just do on your own. You know what I mean? Like no one's going to do that for you. And you know that. So it's like, just get it done. You know what I mean? Just wake up and just eat, maybe you have to, I don't know, maybe you got to like juice. You know what I mean? Like, not like as in roids. Like, if you have like a juicer at home and you can put some fruits in there and you can make some juice in the morning and, make some healthy foods instead of possibly having some shit for breakfast or not even having breakfast at all. And then literally just go outside. Like, you can literally just do some home workouts or something like that. But the bottom line is the more time you think about what you could be doing is wasting time for what, you could be doing. If that makes sense. Like if I'm sitting here on my ass like, oh, I really wish that I was, more in shape. Next week, if you haven't done anything about it, you've already been a week into making, sure that you're in shape. The common ground is that you need to take things slow. You need to have a routine and you just need to like make sure that you're enjoying what you're doing, right? I wouldn't go to the gym if I didn't enjoy it. I wouldn't go to the gym if it wasn't some sort of release for me. So go to the gym with a friend if you need to. You know what I mean? Like personally, I think that like creating content is fun. And especially with YouTube, I love editing the videos because I just love seeing that final product. Going to the gym, it just makes me feel good. That's my motivation. So you're going to need to find yours somehow or another. All right. So our last one is kind of long, so I'm going to put it on the screen now for you so you can pause and read it. But essentially it's about this person and a girl. He is a little conflicted. I'm assuming it's he is conflicted because, she's moving or she is moving soon 3 states away. And, they were starting to hit it off, right? They were starting to like each other and they weren't sure if they should try and do some sort of relationship, because he liked her so much. Should they cut things off or attempt even online dating? And bro, I'll be completely honest with you. There's nothing wrong with online dating. You just have to make sure you guys know your boundaries and make sure there's a lot of trust between you guys. I think the best piece of advice is you just stick it as friends for now. Just stick it through, see how things go. But there should be no reason why you cut off somebody, especially that you care a lot about. You know what I mean? Like that's just not the way that you should go about it. Do whatever makes you happy. You know what I mean? But I will just say that doing something online requires just a lot of trust. Okay, so you have to be a little careful there. That's really all. You just don't want to be that person that's going to end up regretting cutting somebody off when there could have been a lot of potential. You know what I mean? And, you can always like somebody and end up not actually like dating them either. Just feelings can fade or whatever. But online relationships definitely take a toll. They're really difficult. You're actually missing like that in-person feeling. So not saying it's impossible, but I would take things slow. I think that's very important for you to do, is just take things like slow and see where things go. Try not to overthink it much. It does suck that she's moving far away. So, who knows though? Maybe she could be the one for you. Who knows? Like it's really up to what you want to do. You know what I mean? So I really do think that you should try and see where it goes. But my always advice would be to just try not to cut off somebody if they're really, they're healthy for you. You know what I mean? Like that's just the best piece of advice I can give. With all these being said, I think that the common ground here between all of these is, that you just need to like take things one at a time and, find that motivation, find whatever works best for you. Honestly, if some of these answers that I've given were not the greatest, then feel free to actually DM me on Twitter at SoftWilly, and I'll be able to, discuss it more. I mean, honestly, like join my server too, and I'm actually really active there. Just be like, hey, I came over from the SoftwillyTalks channel. I mean, I've never had that before, and so it's like, you just be like, hey, here from the SoftwillyTalks channel, and I would like to speak about something like, if from one of these videos, that's totally fine with me. I totally would, like to have some sort of conversation like this. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I'm not big on people like fangirling, fanboying over me. It's really kind of annoying. I mean, not like annoying in like a really bad way, but it's just like, I've dealt with it now for 2 years, and you just got to like see it from my perspective. I want to have like conversations with people, not people put me on this weird pedestal now. So, yeah, if I didn't really answer something, like, again, I have to put these into videos, and so I really can't give such quick, I guess, explanation on some things that can actually be kind of heavily detailed. So, yeah, I'm definitely here for all of you guys. Thank you again for watching if you've made it this far. And I'll speak with you guys again very soon. If you have anything that you want to submit, feel free at SoftWilly on Twitter. And I'll see you guys again very soon. Enjoy the rest of the gameplay.